Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Mic check, 1, 2. My name is Pedro Vega. I am the host of the Pev Productions channel and the Pev Gamer channel. You could follow me on all the socials at Pev Gamer. And today is our first episode. Oh my God, look at that. That you could hear me twice, couldn't you? Today is our first episode of the Flowers First podcast, the dating talk podcast where we talk about all things dated and problems with modern dating. Now, I have opened up the floor for anybody to come in and speak about dating. I would prefer to hear anybody's input on the things that they find to be the struggle with dating, how we think things can improve. This is your time to speak. Keep in mind that the guests on do not necessarily reflect the same ideology or opinions as Pev Productions. This is an open guest podcast, so anybody could, in fact, go on. So, for everybody watching in the chat right now, I will link the link, I guess you would just call it, to the actual chat. Feel free to join. I just ask you keep it respectful, no slurs, no really anything else. Let's keep it respectful. Let's have a conversation. This is an open conversation for anybody and everyone to talk about. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'd like to hear what everybody thinks. More people come in, the better. Until we have a guest, I'm kind of just going to go off with kind of my opinions, and we can definitely go from there. I have definitely some big hot takes about dating in the modern era. Dating's in trouble. We're all fucking in trouble. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Modern dating is not what it should be. People have unfortunately lost their roles when it comes to dating. It's turned more into, well, who can do more for me on a larger scale and who is mildly attractive enough to be around for that. And I don't think that's what dating is really supposed to be. I think you need to definitely be attracted to someone. That's definitely a huge part of that. Like, if you don't find somebody attractive, then don't entertain it. But people still do. We see this more often on the side of women. Entertain men, doesn't matter necessarily their looks as long as they have somewhat of attraction for money and to pay their bills or to be some kind of sugar baby situation. And I find that quite disturbing how many women I have spoken to that are looking for more of a guy to pay her bills than an actual mate. But on the other side of that, I see a lot of men who will speak to women and kind of just use them for sex. That's what it comes down to. Um, Not a lot of men that I've gotten to speak to are looking for the commitment. They're looking for an easy screw and trying to just bounce off afterwards. And I don't think that is healthy for society as a whole. It's not healthy for um, long-term sustainability for really anything. If you're just here to get a quick fuck in and leave, how many times are you going to do that until you settle down? And is a woman going to want to settle down with you after you've, kind of fucked the entire town? Like, probably not. It's probably not a thing that men should be striving for. And same with women. I don't think women or men should be striving for very large body counts, but here we are. Here we are. I would love to know what everybody else thinks about that. Hello, everybody. I see you guys in the chat. Hello, Redwood. Hello, Dad. I did not expect you to be in this one. I'm not going to lie, but it's good to see you. Glorpo is Cade. Don't let Cade lie to you. That's still Glorpo. Cade, if you'd love to come on and speak, I'd love to hear your opinion on modern dating, kind of what your struggles as a man has been with dating women. And if there's a woman who wants to come on the panel as well, feel free. The link is in the chat. I'd love to hear from everybody. I'd love to hear everybody's opinion. Am I muted? Nope. Okay. No. I saw the red and I was like, huh? But that just indicates that things are open. Okay, cool. Lost Spartan, welcome on into the stream. I would love to hear your opinion as well, my friend. If you want to hop on in, there is the link to the open panel. Uh, Ed Boy says dating is overrated. True, especially in the modern era. I think dating is kind of overrated. Um, the way that it's going now. I think there is a way to save it. I think there is a way for us all to kind of come back and this not be a doomed society of people who just fuck. And that be that. Excuse my harsh language. I can English, I swear. Dating is rough and it sucks. Hello, Liz. I would love your opinion if you'd like to come on to the panel. I'd love to hear your experiences and your opinion on dating. Wait, are we talking about relationships? We are launching our new open panel dating show. So I'm allotting anybody and everyone who wants to come in and kind of talk about modern dating to enter in the panel and give us your experience. Give us your experience until somebody does. I'm going to keep spouting what I believe. I'm going to give the descriptors and the prescriptions for what I think modern dating looks like. Um, but the prescription to what we're seeing now is specifically for men and women. I think this can apply to other relationships too, but I right now I'm specifically talking about men and women. For men that are attracted to women, getting back to a state of chivalry will be good, and for the women, accepting that chivalry. Would love to hop on if you'd have me. Uh, I'd love to have you on Lost Spartan. Yes, here. This is the link. There you go. I have it ready. If one of my mods can copy that link in case we need it again while we're in the discussion. Um, yeah, I think that is the way. I think I just saw Tom the Rod. Hello, Tommy. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you indeed. Sorry, it is very hot in my house right now, and I am all sorts of sweaty already. But it's fine. Everything's fine. It's only raining 80 degrees in here. That's nice. That's nice. I'm taking off my hat while we're waiting. So yeah, I'd love to hear anybody's opinion on dating. Definitely want your guys' thoughts on this for sure. Take off your shirt then. It's not that kind of podcast. Cosmic Kid in the house. Ooh, ooh. I do have a tank top under here if it does get too hot. I'm refusing to turn back on my AC because my electric bill was atrocious. So the the electric company is not going to beat me. No, sirree, Bob. But yeah, what do you guys kind of think the problem with dating is going to be, or what it is? Oh, Saber's in the house. Did I not see Saber? Am I dumb? How you doing, pal? Did Shawnee steal you before 6? Shawnee. Shawnee steal you before 6. Are you talking to me or are you talking about Corpo? No one could stay loyal or commit. That's interesting. Okay. So I've noticed that as well. Cheating is Pev, is it all about sex with dating? No, I don't think it's all about sex with dating. And I don't think that how do I explain this? How do I explain this? In the most hot take that I can give you guys is in its core fundamentals when it comes to relationships with men and women specifically. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, men are the gatekeepers of relationships. Now, I know that's a really hot take, but think about it like this, right? Men want sex in most primitive form. Women want commitment. If women uphold and say, nope, you don't get sex if I don't get commitment, that fixes a lot of the gaps in its purest form. Are there things that complicate that? Absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many things that can in fact what's the word? Get in the way of that to complicate that, right? There's other factors at play. It's never just black and white. But if if women hold sex hostage, then the men who are just looking for sex with nothing else go away. Now, unfortunately, from a lot of women I've talked to, is the fear in that is, well, Pev, I find these guys attractive. All well, all fucking well, then they weren't for you. To get it, everybody has needs. We understand that completely, but that's just what it comes down to, right? If women withheld sex from men and told men the only way you get this is through commitment, all the fuck boys will go that way. And all the men that you actually would get sustainable relationships will accept those terms. Does that make sense? Does anybody get what I'm saying? But that all comes down to what um Liz was just saying. Oh, hello, Devon. Oh, can you hear me?
If you can hear me, my signal's a little spotty.
Oh, I can hear you. Welcome on to the show. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Ah, same old. Can't complain. Devon, how much of the conversation have you heard so far?
Trying to get in. I was gone for a couple minutes, so I'm completely lost on where we're at.
No worries at all. I was just giving my prescription to I feel what baseline dating can be fixed, but I would love to hear what you want to talk about when it comes to dating.
I got a lot of opinions. I think modern dating is very tough for the average man.
Mm,
Uh, as an average man myself, I got lucky. I have a wonderful woman at the moment,
God bless you.
but
That's awesome.
it is, yes. I'm super blessed. You know, we have a kid together. Once I can scrape up enough money to get an engagement ring, I mean, I'm gonna propose to her eventually.
That's a
So
beautiful thing.
it is. Just
Now,
go
before
ahead.
that, can I ask you actually some questions about your relationship?
Yes, go ahead.
So, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty and the openness for it all, guys. Can we give Devin some W's in the chat for being brave enough to come on and kind of talk about this stuff? Um, Devin, so what was the first thing in your relationship that kind of set the standards for it, right? Like, how did you know that this woman wasn't going to be a short term thing, or did you not know?
Honestly, truly, I didn't. So
Mm,
we kind of had a weird start. We had been friends for many years, but I had been traveling with my parents as they went to work, and I was still in school. And she had been living with her parents, and she didn't have exactly the greatest start. I won't go into details, but eventually, once I got on my own and got settled, I said, "Hey, I can try to help you get, a better start than what you have. You want to come live with us?" And she said yes. So we then moved in together with some roommates. And as we had already been friends, we had already had, the relationship going. She uh she actually confessed to me after living with us for a while. I at the time didn't see her as a prospective romance option, but I said, I don't dislike that potential with you, so let's try. And it just kind of blossomed to now we have a kid. So
wow. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. And you know what's funny about that too? Not often enough do you hear the woman pursue the man. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not a common situation, right? I think we
no,
all are
no,
very
it's
aware of
really
that.
not. I'd
Right.
say it's probably one in like 100,
Like,
if not more.
that's probably pretty accurate, honestly speaking. Um and so you were not interested in her at first, but then
Yes.
obviously something changed.
Mhm,
What was the big changing factor? I would guess just from knowing you as little as I do, but we've been friendly online for
mhm.
quite some time, right? I would assume it wasn't sex that kept you.
No, no. It just we started doing. I was working a third shift at the time, so I'd come home, I'd go to bed, and we'd wake up and just chat and relax. And then before work, we got into watching an episode of an anime called Erase at the time, and just slowly kind of got closer and closer, uh, physically and emotionally while watching the show. Just talking about life during that time. And then just at some point during that, she just kind of snuck her way into my heart.
Got you. So it was that quality time that
Yes.
really did you in.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's a beautiful thing. I wish more relationships were like that. What you see now for the people who are together, right? Excluding the people that have stayed together, right? You see a lot of the times men and women go out to bars. There's an urge that needs to be scratched, essentially. Maybe the man lies to the woman. Maybe the woman lies to the man. You never know, right? And
Mhm.
it's a quick fuck and they're out. Excuse my French. And I I I think that that's bad for society. I think hookup culture as a whole is bad for society. It's truly
Oh,
a
I
thing that's
completely
ruined.
agree.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
I think the hookup culture is bad, and then
mhm,
I think social media has a lot to do with it too, because now it's kind of like everyone's available all at once, and there's so many options that people get. I don't want to say greedy, but I can't think of another word. More selective, too selective, maybe.
too selective, greedy can definitely be it, right? I know a lot of women like, I'll be the first to admit it. I've slid in women's DMs. And I'm like, hey, I think you're really pretty. And the next thing is, thanks. Do you want to pay my bills? Or hey, here's my cash app. Like, I just said that you were pretty. Like, if you're not interested, whatever, but don't ask me for money. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
That's
like we haven't even fully had one conversation, and you want me, you know, give you money? That's kind of crazy.
I agree. I also think that OnlyFans has ruined dating to a huge degree, and it's also hurt more women than it has helped, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that actually a step further. I think porn has ruined a lot of expectations of things.
Oh, I agree. I think porn has ruined men the same way that OnlyFans has ruined women, if
Yes.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
Okay.
I agree with that.
And that's not that, putting those two things in this pot, right? Making this evil stew essentially, and it's ruining society. That's what it comes down to. It's just ruining it.
I think another thing is everyone's just kind of looking for like instant gratification of everything. So it's, porn is, oh, I get in, I do my job, leave. OnlyFans is, you know, however you want to do it, give me money. And everyone just thinks that's enough. That makes me, I don't know. Sorry.
No, no, no. That's I understand what you're saying for sure. Would you prescribe that the best thing a man could do is not watch porn, and the best thing a woman could do is not run an OnlyFans?
Yeah, I'd say if we banned both of those today, society or the dating relationship, not going to say society, would increase a lot, and everything, the quality of it would increase a lot.
That's completely fair. Real quick too, because I want to get back to this conversation you and I are having. Lissa said, "This dude I've known for a week asked me $40 to help him with his rent before he asked his family. That's just weird." Completely agree. Stop talking to that man ASAP if you haven't already. Any guy that asks for money from a date, I'm sorry, my opinion is a fucking soy boy. Like I have no fear of saying that. Yet the hardest part is taking a rejection and moving on to the next person. Kame Convo, I think that's kind of what has held men down in societies. You have a string of rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, and unintentionally, or maybe intentionally, you have the extreme version of feminism, these feminazis telling men that they shouldn't be approaching women. That's weird, right? You can't talk to a woman outside. You can't talk to her at the gym. You can't talk to her at the coffee shop. You can't talk to her anyway because you're the creepo. And it's like, okay, I think men are starting to receive that message and not doing anything. I keep seeing these videos online, and Devin, maybe you've seen them too, of these women on subway stations that they're complaining that all the men are sitting and none of the men have offered them a seat on the subway, and it leads me to believe it's because for years they've been telling men not to do that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's, oh, men and women can do the same things. So If you're just gonna constantly shove that down our throats, why should I have to give up my seat to you out in the subway?
Right. Right. If we're interchangeable widgets, then why does it matter if you're standing versus
Yeah.
sitting?
Or there's been a couple cases where what happened, I think it was a year or two ago, is a man was getting ready to assault a woman on the subway, and a guy stepped in to help. And the woman in the interview is called the guy who came in to help, saying that I was unneeded, unwanted. You were a
I
creep
remember
for trying
that.
to help me.
Oh my god.
And
Like
it's
what
like,
the
that's
fuck?
insane. It's like he's stepping in to help you, and then you're going to call him a creep?
Right. Like what's that about? What the fuck is that about? I
Society as a whole is crazy. I know that's not what we're here to talk about. I just feel I need to make that point.
no,
It's crazy.
I'm glad you brought it up because society has a lot to do with dating. So it all comes intertwined, right? I think that it's okay to say that men and women can do the same things. I think it's not okay to say they can do them all equally, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
not to sound sexist, right? But Lissa, one of the people in my chat, she is a streamer and she's a very good friend of mine. She works in healthcare, like on the day to day. She works super fucking hard to do her job and she has the personality for it, right? And a lot of those traits end up being associated with females or at least femininity, right? Where myself, I couldn't do that. You know, my bedside manner to someone who is sick is not as good as hers. Or she might be a little bit better on if we play a game, strategically thinking in a smarter way than I am, where I'm like, I just need to go solve the problem, right? And
Mhm.
that's probably a very gross generalization, but that's an example where I could see where a woman would do better than at least myself.
Yes, but yeah, see, I agree. Everyone could do everything, not to equal, abilities. Guys, on general, are stronger than women, so more manual labor should be done by the men. You
Mhm.
know, just like I believe in the traditional family. I think it's called the atomic family, where the guy goes out and works, the
I
mother
agree.
raises the kid and keeps the home. Because to me, that is how I feel, whether by nature or a higher being has decreed. I feel that fits the standard person very well.
I agree. If we're talking about on a religious basis, you know, I'm a very religious person, so I tend to subscribe to the gender norms and the gender roles and stuff like that. But at the same time, as the Bible says, you know, you live of the world, not for the world. So I
Hmm.
understand that living amongst like secularists or people with other beliefs, you have to understand their way of thinking. You don't have to submit to it, but you have to understand it. So
Yeah.
arguing in the um secular ideals, right? Yes, even then, traditional gender roles make sense. Are there exceptions to the rule? Absolutely. We're not saying it's a dogma. We're not saying it
Yes.
must be this way or no other way exists. And you know, I'll even give prescriptions to gay couples or other people that I've known from association, not necessarily, you know, in a first person viewpoint.
Hmm.
Um, because I think that in the secularist viewpoint, all of those things can attribute to really anything, right? Those are just the foundations of a good relationship.
Hmm.
So, whatever relationship you are in, if you've established who is doing what, you have to allow that person to thrive in that. You
Yes.
know, if they're not good at it, by all means vocalize it in a loving way. Um, but like if not to put you on the spot, but like if we're in a partnership, right? Not even talking
Hmm.
relationships, just anything, right? Like let's say we work together and your best skill set is changing toilets and my best set is putting together a sink. Well, I'm not going to ask you in this reno job to change the sink while I do the toilet. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No. Exactly. That's
Right.
just it's insane to do.
Mm. I agree. Rosa gave us a nice good one. I think it's two different extremes that's like there's some women that will just scream in your face and say leave me alone, and then there's the men that hit on anything with a pulse. I do think there's a lot of both, but not everyone has the same opinions. So you're never going to appease everyone. I think the respect and knowing when things are appropriate. I agree with you, Rosa.
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
that we're combating both ends of the extreme.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I feel as of late, there is the middle ground is shrinking, and it's more of the extremes on both sides.
It is. So, what would your prescription be to, let's say, the men first, right? What would be the problem you would mainly identify, and what's the prescription for the men?
Hmm. I would think the men is like in a later text, Roses or someone said it was a Comic Con said to Rosa, I think if a female turns on a guy, he should move on. One strike and you're done.
I
I
agree.
agree with that because a lot of guys will be hey, 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 over multiple times over a week, month span, whatever it may be, and just don't get the hint. So I
Right.
think I also think men shouldn't try to just like cold start a relationship, but it's also hard not to do that in certain situations. I think
When
it's
you say
easier. Hmm?
cold start, how would you define a cold start for some of our older viewers or people who are not familiar with the term cold start?
So I would say cold starting is just you have you've never met this person before in your life. You're at a bar, like you said earlier. Maybe you got invited to a house party. Maybe you're hanging. Or no, that wouldn't be close, but just you've never met this person. You have no link for saying, "Oh, hey, this is Kaylee's friend," as just someone, you know. So you just go and you try to start something. That's hard. I feel you should try to get some type of connection there. We're like, oh, hi, I'm Devin. I'm Sam's friend. Sam says he knows you. He kind of gave me a little information about you. Not exactly in that way, but I think you understand what I meant.
I do. Yeah, I understand. Like if I were to go up, and this has happened to me before, right? I've gone up to the bar, seen a woman sitting next to me, very pretty, and I might try to strike up a conversation, and it doesn't necessarily go anywhere. But there are definitely times where the conversation is pleasant. She tells me respectfully she's not interested. I respectively leave her alone after that, but I don't
Yeah,
end it on like such a harsh terminology, right?
yeah,
Where
yeah. No, see that's also perfectly acceptable in my opinion. It's just in the sense that I feel most women nowadays wouldn't like that. But
sure, I would agree with you. I think that there is more failure in than success in that,
Mhm.
especially if you don't fit a certain demographic, right? That's the other thing. That's another prescription I think could work for both men and women. Every woman believes themselves to be a 10, right?
Yes.
And men do it too. Men overhype themselves. They're like, I'm
Oh yeah.
this, I'm a everything because you're not even on my level. And I think everybody needs to understand what the scale means and how to be realistic. And it's okay to be realistic. So
Mhm.
one is you're butt ass ugly. Like you were in a train wreck and we don't know how you survived, right? As fucked up as that is. And I don't think there is a 10 because 10 on a scale is perfect. To me, perfect does not exist. There is no
Yeah.
perfection, right? You can see perfection in somebody, right? So if you believe your wife or whoever to be a 10 in your eyes, that's great. Everyone should see themselves as a 10 in their eyes to themselves or to their partner, but
Yes.
also
Everybody
being
should
able,
love themselves.
yes, 100%. But like I look at me and I'm like, okay, I'm like a 5, I'm like a 6, I'm average or maybe slightly above average, and I'm okay with that. Like that's cool,
Yeah.
right?
I'd say I'd give myself a 4 on a normal day, 5 on a good day.
I'm about to say, be nicer to yourself. You're definitely a 5. I've seen you. I've seen you.
Have you seen me?
I have. Yeah, you used to stream, didn't you? You used to play 7 Days to Die.
I don't think I ever used a face cam though.
Well, you also came to my job at one point. That's how we met.
No, no,
You
I
didn't
don't think
show.
so.
I don't want to dox you or anything like
All right,
that.
I've lived in Texas, Florida, Kentucky, and Missouri.
Wait.
So I don't think we've ever crossed paths.
You've never been to New England?
No, no, I've
Who
never
am I
been out of
getting
the
you
U.S.
confused with?
Or
I'm
that's still in
sorry,
the U.S.,
dude.
isn't it?
What
No, no,
happened?
don't even worry about that.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'm sorry. My bad. Um, that's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that's hilarious.
I thought I met you at a Best Buy. I guess I'm wrong. Um, oh, that's great. Okay, but so you're saying on a good day you're a 5, and I think that's completely reasonable, right? And
Mhm.
that's okay. That's average, right? And there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with being average. And women get offended when I bring this up to them, right? Like, not to throw anybody under the bus, but like my brother's girlfriend hates that I use the scale the way that I do. And I'm like, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but that's definitionally how the scale works for anything.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the bell curve. Everything tends to fall in the middle.
Right. And if we're thinking if everyone's going around saying I'm a 10, right? Then you're putting yourself on the scale as the most beautiful women in the world, but that's supposed to be
Mhm.
a rarity. So
Yeah. If
by
everyone's a 10, no one's a 10.
exactly, you understand what I'm getting at. And I think that's okay to say, you know what, I'm not a 10, but I'm still hot. Or like I'm not a 10, but like I'm this, I'm that, right?
Mhm.
Someone's gonna see you as a 10, sure. Like we can get 1,000 women to look at you, Devin, and a couple women might say you're a 2, and then a couple more women might say, "Oh my god, he's a fucking 8." Like, "Oh my god." And then we average it out from there, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So I just think I think that's a reasonable thing to get
yeah.
back to. I think that's one of the big prescriptions to give to everybody.
So I like what comic just said here. Love yourself before you love someone else.
I agree with that too, 100%. You have to love yourself before you go into a relationship. If you search for a relationship when you have not accepted yourself and you're doing it for primal need, so sex, for instance,
Hmm.
you will always feel empty. That goes for men and
Yeah.
women,
Yes,
which is what it
I
is.
completely agree with that.
Now, Devin, this might be a little bit more of a tough conversation, but you don't really get to hear a guy's opinion on this all too much. But
Okay.
how important is body count to you?
See that? Yeah, that's it's very important to me because had my current girl or like the person I'm with now had, honestly, I'm more conservative. If she had like 6+ bodies, I probably wouldn't be interested in her.
That's
You
fair.
know,
That's the preference, and I respect that as
Mhm.
well. Oh,
I
comic
think the
body
per
count means how many people you've had sex with.
yes,
Now,
I
how
think the
important
perfect number for that answer is like 0 to 2.
okay,
You know,
for women you're saying, or just for everybody
yeah,
in general?
in general, because I think a guy who goes around and sleeps with everyone's a douchebag. You know that you
I agree.
why you breaking people's hearts like that?
I totally agree. Same can go for a guy though. No, I completely agree with that. If a guy has a massive body count, then he's exactly what Devin said. He's a douchebag. He's a man whore. He's a fuck boy, whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
And the same goes for women. Like if we hold women to a standard, we have to hold men to a standard, sure, uh,
Yes,
to the same standard.
100%.
I think that in totality, though, men get away with it a little bit more because, from a couple surveys that have been done, women tend to care a little bit less about the body count than men do.
Yeah,
But I still think in a perfect world, like if this guy has 0 to 2 bodies and he wants to date a woman that only has 2 to 3, cool, awesome. If he
yeah.
doesn't want to go past that, then fine. Um, I do agree with Tom Larod. It is different for a guy for sure. Um, Men are praised for high body counts. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it is true. Society does tend to praise men for higher body counts. I've even heard women
Yeah,
say, "I don't want to be with a guy who doesn't know what he's doing." Right? Like that's
yeah.
something you hear. I
Well, then
also
that
find it
kind of falls back up to the hookup culture part of it. It's they're not looking for long term. They were just looking for instant gratification again. Let's fuck and then be gone.
right, and that's not good for society. And
No.
that's where it comes down to men need to put their cocks away. And if they are looking for sex, if they want sex, then women have to hold it as you're not getting sex if I don't get commitment. And if a
Yeah.
guy is gonna lie about that, I would say vet all your men. Vet all your men. Make them fucking wait. Because the ones who are lying to you, when 6 weeks go by and they haven't had any sex, they're gonna fucking dip. They're gonna be out. They're gonna be gone. A man
Oh yeah.
that's gonna like you for you is not gonna care how long he has to wait. Truly. Truly.
Mhm.
Right, Devin, if your current lady said, I'm totally cool to date, I want to date, but I don't want to have sex for like I can't think of a specific time period, but if she made you wait 3 months, right, would you have stayed? And you can be completely
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. To be fair, I actually think it was 3 months before we even kind of approached the barrier of being intimate.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you on that. Tom just brought up a really good point. Or they'll cheat on the chick, Pev. Then they weren't the one.
Yeah.
If they cheat
I
on
I
the
have a
chick,
zero tolerance for cheating. If as much as I love her, if she cheated once, we're done. Sorry.
you're on that side of me. Yes, absolutely. If he's gonna say, you know what, I can get if I can get cat from another chick because you're not gonna give it to me, then he wasn't the one either.
No.
And same
No.
goes for women too. It's not as common that I hear on the other way, but if a man's not comfortable with giving himself to you, for whatever reason, and you go around and go slop around on some cock, then she wasn't for you, bro. Like that's just what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Exactly. Because when you get into a relationship, it should be exclusive. All the fun side should be for you.
Agreed. Personally, you are wrong if you believe sex can keep a long-term relationship. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying sex keeps the relationship going. I'm saying if you truly like a woman, if you truly like a woman, then you don't care how long it's going to take before you both have sex.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. I think true.
Yeah.
You don't, and if you're already in a relationship and you think sex is the only thing that's going to keep them there, then the relationship is fucked. Because in
Yeah.
both scenarios, it comes down to the relationship only meant about sex. If he's not
Hmm.
willing to wait for you, then the relationship was only about sex. If you fix every argument with sex, the relationship is only sex. If
Yeah.
you are struggling in your long term relationship and sex is the only reason you stay, the relationship was only about sex.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
Right? Comes round and round. Uh Cheating is disgusting though. Cheaters
Oh,
need to
yes.
be vetted super hard.
I think there was an app recently. I forget what the name was, but it actually had a leak, which is what caused it to be so controversial.
Mm,
But what it was an app for women to search up a man's name and any other woman who had been. It was only for women. You could only
mm.
get onto it if you were one, and it was like a background check of all the previous daters saying, "Oh, he does so and so. He does so and so." So it would let you know, "Hey, this guy's a cheater," or what. And I think that was a good idea in a sense. Like,
Is
yeah,
it Truth Finder? Is that Listen asked in the chat? Is that the name of the app?
maybe I don't know. It just recently, in a couple months, had like a big leak, and a bunch of women's data got leaked because you had to like post your ID and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's
So
bad.
I don't know if that was Truth Finder, but it's like I think an idea like that is good, but I think the actual getting that going would be tough because yeah, if I could search up, oh hey, I like this woman. Let me see if she's had any other lovers who have had something good or even bad to say about her.
Mm.
But
Which, by the way, that comes down to your point earlier about social media fucking things up too,
yeah,
because that is a
yeah,
perfect example how social media can completely fuck up a relationship, right? Because
oh
number
yeah,
one, what stops anybody from lying about that guy? What if he's not a
true,
cheater, but
true,
someone just has a shitty fucking day, right? And lies to you. And also,
yeah,
if you have to download an app to confirm if your partner is cheating, then you probably shouldn't be with that person. Trust is everything in a
yeah,
relationship.
oh yeah,
The app is good and bad. I mean, Tom, I can't see how the app would be good other than saying, "Oh, okay, we've caught a cheater." It's like, okay, well, if you already had these suspicions, right? If you've been given reason to believe that your partner's cheating, then you probably shouldn't be with them anymore. I think. Do some people get super fucking paranoid? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I don't think meeting people on dating sites and social media is a good thing. I agree with you. Dating people off of dating apps or social media tends to not go very well. But
Yeah.
in the modern day, when men are spit on for just saying hello to a woman in public, what other options do you really have in terms of dating sites? Now, it's a
Mhm.
huge risk factor for women. It's a huge risk factor for men. Um, but the prescription would have to be that society has to make giant changes, and it starts with all of us. It starts with these conversations.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can tell the difference between a creepo and someone who's genuinely giving you a compliment, right? It's
Yeah.
okay to gently reject somebody. It's okay for a guy to just compliment you out of his infatuation for beauty. I've complimented women that I've had no interest in dating. Absolutely no interest. I just want to make somebody's day and inform them that they are beautiful or they are very pretty in a non-simpy way.
Hmm.
I hate that people don't want to talk IRL. It's my favorite thing. I love talking to people in real life too. That's probably why I do this. Like, honestly speaking, like, I love to talk to people, but it's hard. It's really fucking hard to
It
approach
is.
anybody. But then
So
people
it is.
catfish too. That's true too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So it's in my personal situation. I'll rat on myself a little bit here. I have
Yeah,
Asperger's, which is a form of autism that makes it really hard. It's almost like social anxiety, but not. It's just like a branch of it.
sure.
I find it really hard to like talk to new people. I've worked on it a lot, seeing
Yeah.
as how I can be on here. Uh, but I mean, Al, had you
Which you're
met me
doing
six
great, by
years
the
ago?
way. You're doing
I'm sorry.
absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Of
But I
course.
mean, had you met me 7 years ago, I would have never come on like this. I would have been in your chat. I never would have said anything. I would just be the kid in the corner listening to everything.
Look at how far you've come.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know what too? That's another thing that ends up getting into the way too is fear, right?
Yes.
Um Not saying that those fears are not justified, especially just the current state of men and women and the sex of the wars, or the wars of the sex is what I meant to say, not the sex of the wars. Ugh, that could be a totally different show. Um, so Liz, I'm gonna rat on you a little bit. I'm so sorry if you don't want this kind of out there. Liz, for me, in the is the other side of the coin, right? She is definitely the most predominant female voice I hear in the dating marketplace. Um, and there's a lot of descriptions she gives me that if I were dating her or were in the position of the man, that I would have prescriptions already ready. And it breaks my heart to see because she's a very nice woman. Very, when you think of ideally dating a young woman, you would think of Liz, right? Um, Now the stuff she has to deal with is atrocious. But I've noticed, and Liz, forgive me for saying so, it also comes with her type as of lately, right? So she likes a specific kind of guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should have your type. If you're attracted to your type, you should look for your type 100%. But the ones that have been in her type have ghosted her, have chosen different people to talk to, who have been fucking weirdos. And it's not going well for her, and she tells me, she's like, listen, this is where shit went wrong. I wish it didn't, but this is just how it happens, and it fucking sucks. And it does, it really really fucking sucks. I keep getting guys ways out of their league, and what Pev is saying right now, keep getting guys way out of their league. Wait, what do you mean by out of their league? Like, you're saying that you're getting guys out of your league, or, um, guys are picking you up and you're out of their league? Oh, yeah, that's another one. She was talking to a guy for 2 months, really liked him, and he was like, "I'm not ready for a relationship." Ugh. I think Liz is saying they're too, low level of a guy. Um, I'm out of their league. So, yeah, so then if I'm out of their league, wait. Yeah, so that means you would be the step up from them, right? You're dating down if you're mark like, if you're an 8, they're like a 6. Is that what you're saying? Yes, okay. Alright, so that's another thing now. That actually comes with
Mhm.
the realization of your tier, right?
Excuse me.
You're good. Women tend to actually be able to date higher than their tier, and men typically will go lower just for the sake of a conversation or a match on Tinder or something, right?
Mhm.
For Liz's prescription, I would tell her if she doesn't think that they're on her level, then she shouldn't date them. That's just what it comes down to, right? And I'm not talking about personality because obviously personality can affect the grading. I totally understand that.
Mhm.
But if you think by a few conversations you're like, yeah, I'm too good for this guy, then without being stuck up, like, I think it might be time for you to dip, you know? Where now to that very same point, it's okay to be in your lane. Like a lot of things, what happens is the guys who know there are nines or eights or whatever, they know they can have any woman they want, so they get the sex, and that's it. That's all they're used to. They get sex when they want it. They're damaged people. They're fuck boys. They'll fuck you and
Mhm.
then leave. They'll promise you the world and all that shit. And then for a lot of women, I'm not saying you less, obviously, but I'm just saying for a lot of women, let's say a woman's a 5, she's very average looking, and she fucks this 6'3" washboard abs fucking guy who you would maybe consider like a 9. Well, now she is forever going to think that she's a 9 because she was able to bag that guy. Does it always happen that way? No. But I have seen it. I have seen it where women who are both personalities are fucking disgusting and they themselves are just average women, but now they think they can go out with like NBA fucking players because they so happen to have sex with one.
Mhm.
What's happening here? Yeah, comic. That's a really good point, but the problem is men are too afraid to approach women, and the ones who are approaching are fuckboys. So if that's Lissa's play, if Lissa's going to go out and wait for the men to come to her, then the best advice we can give her is if you're meeting somebody face to face, make sure you vet them. Vet them for as long as you feel is appropriate and don't give them what they want immediately. You know, if you're going
Mhm.
on 3 dates and you don't want to give it up, don't give it up. If they like you, they will wait for the sex. Or if they like you, they'll plan dates around you. That's another thing too. When did women become date planners? Did you notice that, Devin?
I can't say I have.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I've seen a lot in the dating market right now that the women that are in relationships are the ones planning the dates. And maybe I'm old fashioned, but if I ask a chick out, I'm planning out. I'm getting you the flowers if you're a flowers girl. I'm picking where we're eating. I might ask for your input. I might ask like what do you like to eat? Where do you like to go?
Yeah.
But when first date, second date, third date, fourth date, whatever comes up, okay, I'll come pick you up or I'll meet you at this place. I'm going to pay for dinner. I'm picking the activity. If you
Oh,
have some
yeah,
input, I will keep that in accountability or like in thought.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, the guy should be playing in the date because it's supposed to be the guy courting the woman, you know?
That's what I think personally. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to the rule. Like if a woman asks you
Yeah.
out and she goes in thinking that she's going to pay for it, then okay. Now, I'll tell you this: I've had one woman ask me on a date. She planned everything. It was very, very nice, and she thought she was going to pay. I'm like, no, I'm going to pay. I'm like, I really saw your effort, and I really appreciate you. Wait, women can be strong too. That's not what I'm saying. Women can definitely be strong. The problem is women need to see effort. That's what it comes down to ultimately. Women deserve effort. Men
Yeah.
deserve loyalty, women deserve effort.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. You know what? That's not to air my family's business, but like I see a really good dynamic between my mom and my father, right? My father knows how hard my mom works. My father knows um like what's important to my mother, and he does it. He just fucking does it. If the house needs to be cleaned, he's cleaning the fucking house. And he's cleaning it very thoroughly, right? If my mom's planning an event for a party, my dad's the first one fucking setting up, right? That's just what it is. And my mom and my father have been married for over 26 years, right? And that's just how the dynamic has worked, you know, the give
Yeah.
and take of
Yeah.
it. What happened? I'm sorry.
No, I was agreeing with you. Like that's how it should be.
That is 100% how it should be. And the same goes for dating, right? If I think a woman is pretty and the woman is accepting of that, past like a, oh, thank you, like I really appreciate it, but I'm not interested. If it's more of a, oh, thank you, like I'm reciprocating, great. That is my ball in the court to say, okay, what can I do to show this woman my appreciation? But also, I have a different mindset. I'm not thinking about betting somebody, right? I'm not going into this
Yeah.
saying I want to just pound town and then bounce, right? That's just not who I am. So maybe I have an old way of thinking, but that's the effort from the woman for me is showing up to the date. I've been stuck
Yeah.
up on dates before. Like I've been, like I plan it all out. I get there and she's like, "Oh, I'm running late." "Oh, nope, you know what? I can't make it. I'm sorry, this came up." "All right, well then go fuck yourself." That's how.
Yeah. So I like what let's put, the woman can be strong too, but men don't put effort anymore. I feel that kind of falls back to men are having to put a lot more effort into most women, not all, obviously,
Mm,
that are a lot worse than like what their mom and dad were. Their mom and dad were probably both, virgins, or hopefully that's how it
mm.
was, and they made life together. Versus now, it's I got to do A B C D E F G just to get with a girl who's slept with 50 plus men. And obviously that's not everything, but I feel the majority of nowadays is that's kind of how it goes. That's the dynamic.
I see what you're saying. So, where our mom and dads might have had that traditional, like, they both might be virgins, they might be in the relationship and then married, and then boom,
Mhm.
you get the everything that would come with traditional values. You don't see that in modern society, and I would
No.
totally agree. Can modern society exist necessarily without all the traditional stuff? I think so. I think the traditional things are important, and I think in an
Yes.
ideal world, a majority of relationships should try to embody that tradition, even if it's an untraditional relationship.
Yeah.
But
Well, tradition is tradition for a reason because it's worked for the past, 2000 human years. And then now everything is just kind of gone haywire.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Pluto brings up a really good point. She says a lot of women are super entitled recently.
Yeah.
Um, I can agree with that. I can completely agree with that. That's the biggest red flag from the women's side of dating. And again, I want to keep it fair. I want to keep it fair because there are definitely some men that are entitled. There's actually different red
Oh
flags
yeah.
that I think men have just in general. But entitledness came with attention. Attention came from social media, dating websites,
Mhm.
all this shit. And then simps. Men just
Yeah.
fucking simping for whatever they see online. Like, it's just not good. It's not good. It's not acceptable. Um, it's just not, you know?
See, I like that Pluto said, I can't lie. I've acted pretty entitled in dating before, but I'm trying my best. Just even realizing that most women wouldn't do it today. They would never see what they did wrong.
There's actually a new phrase that I've heard a lot of women coin. They say, "Oh, I wanna live in my delulu." Okay, so it's delusional. So, why live in it? Why continue
Yeah.
with it, right? Like, it's delusional. The sooner you accept reality, the better things get, right?
Yes.
Like, I've accepted the fact that I'm not gonna marry Angelina Jolie, right? And I'm okay with that. Or like,
Sadly,
I'm
unfortunately, we
never gonna
can't.
date Megan Fox from fucking Transformers Prime early 2000s Megan Fox. And that's okay. That's totally okay.
It's okay to dream, but in the end, you got to bring yourself back down to earth.
Right.
You know?
Right. And just being able to admit that is already leaps and bounds better than most others, right? And I think in
Yes.
dating, it's okay to admit your faults too, especially if you move towards fixing them. Now, I'm not
Yes.
saying like a man comes in and says, "Oh yeah, I've been a woman beater in the past." Oh, haha. Like, yeah, you can't blame women for not wanting to date you if you have a history of that, right? Like, that's just
Yeah. Yeah.
call it a preference, but I if you've hit women, I prefer you not to date the women around me. Like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Like maybe
So
not.
someone in the chat earlier said, some people do, change for the better. And that is true,
I
but I
agree.
feel most people really don't change.
So you actually bring up a really good point that I'm actually seeing on the religious side of things, right? There's
Okay.
been this influx of former porn stars and OnlyFans models coming to Catholicism, been coming to Orthodox Christianity. Um, And what I love about Christianity as a whole is there's room for forgiveness. It's that your actions don't define who you are. But I've also noticed there's
Hmm.
been this shift of these former porn stars wanting to live trad wife tendencies. And I think that is a forward moving in society. But these people, like these former porn stars, can't be upset when a good man comes along and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to date you because you've had like snowballs and trains ran on you all over the internet." Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't, like you can't be mad at that, right? The same way,
No.
like, and I don't know what that's been lately. Like, I do truly believe that people can change for the better, especially if they come to some kind of purpose in life. But
Yeah.
there's consequences to your actions, and you can't expect everybody to feather because you're saying you're doing better or that these things happened. Like, you made a conscious choice. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
So yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like you say, all actions have consequences. So all these, the porn stars and only fan models coming to, Christianity, as they've essentially dug their hole so deep that they have to work insanely hard to even get back up to the baseline to then be considered a good person. You know what I mean? Not saying that them working on themselves doesn't make them a good person, but they got a lot to make up for, in my opinion.
Oh,
The-
that's actually I that's a very good point. And a perfect follow-up to that is I think because you're looking at other people for benefits. That's true too.
Mhm.
I don't know too many people that have worked in the porn industry have been able to get high paying jobs after leaving porn. So what's your next option? You're not going to go back to porn. Into content creation might be outside of that realm. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So you go find somebody with resources, and then boom, you're fine. Flirting is cheating? Watching porn is cheating? I think the only exception to porn, I hate this exception because I don't think it's healthy at all. But when partners watch porn together, I guess that's technically not cheating, or you both are cheating. I don't know. I don't know where the line is. But like, if a man subscribes to a woman's OnlyFans, whether it's consented from the girlfriend or not, it's cheating wholesale.
Yeah.
Wholesale.
I've always subscribed to the belief that you can look at the menu, you can't order from it.
I'm okay with that too. Like, if you're out in public, sure, or you're watching a movie, sure. Like,
Yeah.
if I had a girlfriend and she was watching Magic Mike, am I gonna fucking care? No, because she's in my house, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, it's
Have
like
I
my
was
girl. There's
not.
been times she's like, "Oh my god, look at this person. She's beautiful," and it's like, "Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong."
This is a great example. So, Comic Convo, and Devin, to be completely honest with you, Comic Convo is my father. He's using
Yeah, yeah, I know.
the account. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool.
I've seen you. I
Bev,
think you guys had a comic podcast at one point.
we still do actually. Yeah, we'll be
We do.
live.
Okay.
I think Monday we're going back on the air. Um, But Pev, I was a different person long time ago. Mama Pev made me want to change my ways because happiness is a lot of work. I needed the change. I agree with you. I agree with you. And even as I've gotten older, I've seen more change in you because of my mom. And that's a great thing. I think marriage and kids and family does that to men. I think
Yeah.
that's the greatest joy for any human being, is being married to one person and having a family. Doesn't matter the size or the number of that family, but family does ultimately come down to everything, whether it's blood or the family you make, right?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad we're all. Flirting is always cheating. I don't care. I agree. Flirting is always cheating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time. Porn doesn't help you meet somebody. No, it does not. Porn
No.
also fucks up sex drive in men,
Yeah.
can lead to addictive personality types being created, and it's just genuinely unhealthy. It's bad for the soul. That's what it comes to, even if you don't believe
It
in it.
also leads to unreasonable expectations in the bedroom. You know,
Right,
there's all different types of bad things with it.
right, absolutely. You know what? Less sex is probably better. Like, you don't need any crazy ass porn moves that you need to be doing, right? Like, if you're
No.
outside of a relationship, sex should be very, very, very minimum, right? And when you're in a relationship, it's only for you and that person. I know there are exceptions. I know some people who, even in our streaming community, are
Yes.
polyamorous, and all the power to them if that works for them. These are just the prescriptions based on my opinions, Devin's opinions, and all of our chat. Everybody is entitled to that opinion.
Yeah. I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah, 100%. What is everybody else thinking too? Anybody else have some thoughts that Devin and I can kind of pick on? Take a little pokey poke. Or if anybody else wants to join, the chat is open. This is an open panel show. I will drop the link in the chat again. Feel free to use that link. You'll be dropped right on into the guest queue, and we can show you up on screen. I do subscribe to my rules. So no slurs, no insulting anybody. Keep it respectful. If debate opens, debate opens. We keep it respectful here. Men leaving when baby is born. Yes, that is the biggest freaking red flag for male dating. Men, own your shit. Just own it.
So a lot of the woman mentality right now is, toxic masculinity,
Hmm.
when in reality, it's lack of masculinity is really what's going on. Because there was a study, it was a while back ago, that showed it was like 53% of kids have no father figure at home, and then 70% of teachers are women. So it's a lot of kids are having almost just 100% only woman role models in their life, and that skews, because back to traditional role values, we each truly have our different roles to play. So if you're not getting the proper role model for what you're supposed to be doing, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I completely understand exactly what you're saying. Like, it is true. There has to be a masculine figure in your life, whether that's your father, whether that's your uncle, whether that's your grandfather. There has to be somebody that you can look for some type of guidance in how you portray your masculinity in a healthy way. That's just what
Yes,
it comes down to, right?
because
Now,
I think
mm,
a lot of the like the fuckboy problem where people just or men are just nonstop. I feel that it comes from lack of a good father figure, even if you had one. If you become a fuckboy and you didn't have a good one, in my opinion.
I'm so sorry, Devin. You kind of broke up here and there. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So you're saying that the reason why this is happening. Oh, we just lost him. We just lost the homie. So, oh, Devin's back. Okay, let me show him on. Devin, can you hear us, my friend? Devin? Devin. Did we
So
lose you, my
stream
friend?
just completely cut out for me for a minute.
You're totally fine. You were cutting out for us a little bit too, so I just wanted to confirm what you were saying. You're saying that a
Okay.
lot of these situations that are happening, like a man knocks up a woman and then leaves before the baby is born or when the baby is born, is because of a lack of a male role model with good values.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, okay. I agree. I agree. I think it's a lack of male leadership and mentorship, good leadership and mentorship. I think
Yes.
it does come down to men not accepting their roles, right? I think in a perfect society, right? If you get a woman pregnant, that's your responsibility. You are taking care of her, you're taking care of the kid, no questions asked. Now, do women trap men sometimes? Sure. But if you were fucking her, you should always know the risk. That's what it comes down to. It's your responsibility the day you have to clean it up. Now, what hurts me more is now we're going to talk about a little bit the other side of this, right? In the United States, single mothers essentially being married to the state, getting state benefits, sometimes more than what they would get in a marriage, has also completely fucked up relationship dynamics or marriage dynamics, right? Oh, Devin, did you mean to mute yourself? Did you was that me or was
Yeah. So I'm actually at work right now, so I've been doing my work
Oh,
while
I'm
talking to you.
sorry. No, that's fine. That's
No,
fine. I wanted
no,
to make sure I didn't mute you because I didn't want to,
no.
um,
I muted myself because I had to go do a noisy thing really fast. So
I appreciate you. Okay, very good. Um, no, I think that's what it just comes down to, right? And if anyone disagrees with me, feel free. Men need to step up to the plate, and women need to stop marrying the state. The state also needs to stop providing all the unnecessary benefits of that. It should be encouraged more that the man stays with the woman or whatever the situation is. Dev is still
yeah.
working here. He really is. He's putting in time, boys.
So I think at least here in the state of Indiana, you can get child benefits for up to 8 children, which is an insane number to me.
For a
If you
single
can't
mother, you're
afford
saying?
one, let alone 8, did you? Yeah, for a single mother can
Mm.
have up to 8 kids and get a bunch of tax benefits, EBT, and all that. And it's to me, it's like it shouldn't go past 2. If you can't afford 2 kids, why do you have 8?
And that's the other thing too, because people do in fact take advantage of that, right? Why
Yes.
is how do I put this? Why would the state not instead say, oh, instead of being a waste on the tax dollar, Pev, will you text me when you end? I will, Pluto. I got you. Um, what the fuck was I just going on? I'm so sorry. I got distracted. Oh, um, why does
The
the
state
state
should
not
look
look at
at
this and say, oh, Well, if the man is in the house and you are struggling still, or oh, you just had a baby, here, let us help you, rather than saying, oh, you'll get more money if the man's not in the house. Like, what? Like, how the fuck does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, it's crazy to me.
It just it blows my mind. There should be more benefits that you all stay together if your tax money is going
Yeah,
to be wasted on anything. And also, that's the thing. There's not a lot of incentives to being married, and that comes
no,
down to the church and the state being intertwined with that, right? Marriage was a religious institution, and now it is not.
yeah.
Devastating applications if you are looking to be a single mom. What's going on, Diablo? Welcome on in, my friend. Um, if oh fuck, what was I going with that? Oh, marriage meant more when it was a religious institution than when the state got involved. So when the state got involved, it meant all these outcomes are against men predominantly. Um, like with no fault divorce. Well, the woman still gets half of the man's things, right?
Yep.
And even if you sign a prenup, it's half of whatever was made during the marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and it can work the other way too. If the woman makes more than the man, but not if certain things it has to come down to who initiates the divorce. Essentially, marriage should only be an institution of human agreement, and the state steps in when there are serious matters when it comes to this. So if there's abuse, for instance, right, and the woman needs to get away from the man, the state should step in. And then, or if the woman is cheated on, then the man,
Yeah.
and then the state steps in. Those are acceptable to me completely. But a no, like things where the woman initiates the divorce because she says she's no longer happy, that should not entitle her to half the assets of the man.
Yes.
They shouldn't have gotten married if that was the case. Or you should decree you're no longer married and move out.
Yeah.
That's what. And for the secularists who want to be married, then declare that you are so. If you want that
Yeah.
recognized by the state, sure, enjoy the tax burden, because the tax benefits to being married are not always a benefit, and the benefits you do get are not very good. So then you
Yeah.
add children to that, and it overcomplicates it. It then goes more in the favor of, oh, you are better off being a pregnant woman without a man or without a partner or without anything than a healthy, happy relationship environment for the child. And are there times where it's needed the other way? Absolutely. There are some shit men who might beat the shit out of the kid and the woman.
Yes.
And those are the exceptions that have to be taken into account. And they should be the exception, not the rule.
Indeed. So
A
I'm
prenup
still my
also doesn't exist for Pev if the woman makes more than him too. Oh my god, time to get married to Taylor Swift and then divorce her.
so
Oh my god.
I'm gonna spill my brother's beans here a little bit,
For
but
sure.
he and his wife had gotten a divorce and they had a kid together, and this falls back to the divorce and everything. Well, it feels like with kids, fathers are almost second class citizens because they rarely, if ever, get the custody of the kids.
Sure.
And my brother has documented evidence of uh, his son coming back with handprints, inflamed red handprints of his ex on his
Jesus.
back. And even with that evidence, he can't just go to court and be like, dude, she's beating my kid. I need to have full custody.
Yeah, that's crazy because you actually would need video. Video would almost be the
Yeah.
only way for the man to win custody in that situation. And who wants
And
to videotape your fucking kid getting his ass whooped?
yeah, no.
Like, absolutely not. If you throw a prenup going into a marriage that sounds temporary relationship, not necessarily. Like for myself, if I get married ever, which I would like to be, I probably would hit my wife with a prenup only for the fact is I don't want to lose Pev Gamer, Pev Productions, Comic Convo Express, and all the other channels that I do here. I don't want to
Yeah.
lose any of that stuff. I don't want to lose the house that's in my name. And I would prefer not to lose my benefits that I would like to leave to my brother or my future kids. Um, there are other things that I would leave to a woman that I would love forever, but as the state of America now is in modern dating, that's where I stand. I never want to put myself in a thing, like in a situation in which I'll lose it all. I'll marry you, Pev, on one condition: no prenup. Aw, Yami, don't do this to me. Yami's trying to be the new Pev gamer. You hear this shit, guys? Takes over Pev's channel. A prenup is to protect your stuff if it doesn't work out. Exactly. So if you're saying a prenup sounds like a temporary relationship, I don't think it is for every situation. I think sometimes you need to protect your assets. Like Pev Productions, Pev Gamer, that should only be associated with myself. And if I were to risk losing half of that business to somebody else, I would never forgive myself. Ever. You know?
Yeah, no, that's totally valid.
I agree. Now, I don't think I'm the average person, so maybe somebody else will have a different input on that, right? And who knows? I might meet a woman that I'm like, I'm going to be with you forever, and I don't need a prenup.
Yeah,
Who knows? That is
life's crazy
valid.
what it throws at you.
Oh, throw me the curve. I'm ready. Wait, did you say you had a curveball for me?
No, I said life is crazy with what it throws at you.
Oh,
Oh,
I disagree.
my
Pev
bad,
Gamer
my
should
bad.
be owned by Yami Diablo. No, you're fine. Don't worry. Guys, it sounds like Yami Diablo is about to be my new business partner.
I think he's about to be your boss. How he's
Well,
trying to make it.
well. Oh my god, you got to see Yami Diablo stream sometime. He's one of the best Marvel versus Capcom fighters I've seen. He's really good. Yeah, W to Yami. Um, what else is there really? So but how about for yourself? What description would you give to the single mother epidemic in the United States at least?
What would I give it?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it is an epidemic. Um, like you were saying earlier, I agree. If you knock someone up, you got to take care of them. That is, it takes two to tango. You know what
Mhm.
you were doing when you get it in. That kid should not have to suffer because of your decision.
I agree.
That kid had no choice at all in his making or their making. So why should they be screwed off the start because they don't have two parental figures? You know
Right. Why should they be punished for that? I completely
exactly.
agree. Yami Apollo's playing with Cade right now, I think. I don't know if they're streaming, but I think they're playing together.
Yeah, I agree. I would wait until you are in a strong relationship before you start trying to have a kid. You know,
I
there's so many
agree.
different ways to prevent child conception.
I
And
think in a perfect world, you don't have kids unless you're married. Point blank.
yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
There will be no suffering for the kid if the woman gets an abortion. That's so fucked.
Oh,
Yami
that's an
said,
interesting.
"Yeetus fetus."
That's an issue. What are your thoughts on abortion?
Oof. I think we might be getting into sensitive area for Twitch,
All right,
but I will
that's fair.
say
If no,
that
if you don't want to talk about it, that's perfectly fine.
oh, I mean, I won't go into super big detail, but I would say that I believe that the extremes in which an abortion is necessary should be the exception, not the standard.
Yes. I don't know if you're agreeing with what I think. For
Mm.
me, it's there's two cases. One where one party was not consensual, and one where it's incestuous,
Oh yeah,
which to
then
me should already be
we're on similar mindsets then.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. My only other one is risking of the health of the baby or the mother.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that too, to an extent.
Yeah. Like you kind of you take the lesser of two evils depending, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I try to stop it. I realized that after I said it, but
That's okay. That's okay. I will say men shouldn't talk about abortion. We don't give birth, women do. Let them make the decision. That is fair. That is fair. I yield my well, I yield having the conversation for sure. I have my opinion on it, but mine are also based on certain parameters. So we don't have to get into it. Not to go religious, but wait till after marriage. Marriage waits till after a strong relationship. I agree with that. I
yeah,
know I agree with that. That's a lot of my foundation and stuff is religious based. And I know people who are secularist. I'd rather have the secularist conversation with them too, because I think it's important that if you are religious, you know how to conversate with someone who is secular for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Because if you could see their side, maybe they can do better about seeing yours too. And so far, I have found that has been very successful.
I've always subscribed to the policy of you should always be able to have conversations with someone who disagrees with you.
I
Because
fully agree with that.
because if you only ever hear from people who agree with you, you're only ever hearing half the story.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to get trapped in an echo chamber.
I think we should ignore what Yami just said, but moving on.
I agree. As Satanists, refrain from babies until oh, each other sold to each other. I'm assuming Yami, you're I forget the version of it is, but it's actually it is you know what? We don't have to get into it. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's more of a an individuality belief system is it's more of an individual. It's like secularism, but with autonomy. Like everybody has this, that, and that. I understand what Yami's saying. I read it way too fast too. I was like, wait, what? Hold on, I'm a Satanist for real. Are you? Oh, was he fucking around with us? Oh my god, wait. Well, shit, learn something new every day. No, 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 no. I fucked up. No, Yami, no. He has the Diablo in the name. Don't encourage him. Shit. Never mind. I get where he's going. You know what? Like whether you're a secularist or you're religious or whatever the case may be, um, traditional Satanism bad. If we didn't already say that, bad, bad. I know that's not what he was getting at, but it was funny. Um, fuck. Where were we going with that? Yeah, let's refrain from making babies until we're all ready. Well, that's
Yeah,
the other thing
yeah.
too. Population replacement is at a crisis right now. So the only way you fix that is with strong, healthy family dynamics.
Hmm.
And the only way you get there is getting as many people as you can to traditional relationships. And of course, I've majority been talking about men and women. I know we have some people who are gay or of the I don't want to say gay party because that sounds weird. But like I know people who are in the chat that are gay. I think the rules actually to a degree apply to like same sex couples, right? Like if a baby's going to be abandoned, I'd rather a same sex couple get it than them growing up
Yeah,
in an orphanage, right? So, but that being said, I hope they instill the same values that we're trying to talk about in secularism, right?
yeah,
Even though I feel like secularism is not good, um, if there is a relationship between two women and they are happy and healthy and they're teaching the right things, like then okay, sure, sure, absolutely. But the same rules apply to that relationship, right? Like you assign your roles and who does what, and you adhere to those, right? You don't put somebody down because they are, I guess, not living up to what is not clear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, comic understands what I'm trying to say. I'm great at this.
Look, we're all
um,
tired from somewhere, man.
yeah, for real. Now, past the child situation or conversation that we've had in single mothership, does anybody else have anything else we really want to discuss, or are we good to wrap up for the night? That goes for you too, Devin. If you think of anything you want to talk about, let me know.
No, can't say I have anything particular. I think we talked about a lot of different things, so
We definitely did. We definitely did. And I also want to thank Devin for being up here. You know, you're very brave for coming on up. I always like talking to you. I always love the fact that you're here. So thank you for being here.
okay, thank you.
Of course, of course.
Thank you
Wait
for
till
having me. It
clubhouse.
was a pleasure.
Oh my god, absolutely. Anytime you ever want to come back on, feel free. Homework for everyone: go out and be strong and meet someone. Oof. Hydrate. You need it.
I don't think I
Thanks.
can complete that homework. If I meet someone, my wife might beat me.
I'm about to say your wife might kick your ass. Oh my god. Dev, are we gonna see you Monday at Comic Convo Express?
Is that a separate channel, or does that get broadcast on your to your PEV?
No, that's a separate channel. Oh shit.
All right. Was,
God. Oh, it's
was
my
that?
club. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello in Raiders. Okay, you know what? I have a couple more things to know about. Welcome on in. My name is Pev. Uh we're actually doing a panel show tonight. We're talking about modern dating and all the issues that come with that. This is not our normal content. We normally do gaming up on this channel, but for my other channels and stuff like that, we do a lot of podcasts. So um, this is an extra little bonus show for you all. So I hope you all enjoy. Club, how have you been? What have you been playing, my friend? What was the stream all about today? Let's see if my shout out command is going to work. It better in this mode. Oh, probably helps if I actually spell it right. Jesus. We are under the productions umbrella. We sure are. We sure are for this show. Oh, you're playing Little Rivals. Nice, nice. Was the goon haunting? Listen, we know the goon was haunting. Those skins are definitely gooner material.
Oh yeah, they're not escaping the allegations.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, I saw that that Hella skin. That
Oh, it's nice.
yep, they got me too, guys. Don't worry. Let's see. So, all right. So that way we're not ending on a we're not just randomly ending it here. What else is something that bothers you when it comes to even your relationship now?
I feel communication, because sometimes one of us will say something and mean it one way, and the other is just meaning it in a complete, or takes it as a completely different way, and it can lead to fights when there shouldn't have been anything in there. You know.
For sure. For sure. So, do you find that it's a lack of communication on both sides? Do you feel it's more her kind of expecting you to know how she feels? Do you feel that it's hard for you to communicate? Like what's the big signs there for you?
So I feel it's a 60-40, with me being the 40% and her with being 60, because she tends to overthink a lot, and I can say hey, and
Mm,
it's in the wrong quote unquote tone of voice, wrong tone of voice, and then it's, oh my god, what's going on? Is everything okay? And it's like, I'm fine. What's happening? You know.
like all
So
hell breaks loose.
I mean, definitely both of us are at fault sometimes, though.
Of course, it happens.
Yes.
Relationships are not perfect. So
No.
if you wanted to improve your communication, right? This probably will be much more helpful for the men who have problem communicating in their relationships. That are lucky enough to be in one for sure. How would you prescribe that? How would you improve your communication?
Honestly, I don't even know because
Okay,
like I feel I'm a pretty blunt person. I tend to just say things how I see them. I've just
sure,
tried to, I try not to hurt people's feelings, but if something's wrong or dumb, I'm going to call you out on it, you know? So it's,
sure.
I don't know, maybe me being less blunt could help, but I don't feel being blunt at the same time is wrong.
I agree with you. Would you want my prescription to this?
Yes, go ahead.
Sure. So, blunt is honesty. Being blunt in a
Hmm.
relationship is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if your a partner values honesty.
Yeah.
Maybe your partner is a little bit sensitive to it, but
Yeah.
your wife might be a tad sensitive to it. But I think the best thing you can do is say to her, "Listen, I know our communication isn't always the best, but you know me for my honesty. You know I'm very bluntly honest, and it's because I respect you enough to be honest with you." To that same tone, if you feel as if something is bothering me, you can always come to me. Being
Yeah.
able to know there's open communication in a relationship normally fixes a lot of communication issues, right? If you
Yes.
come to me, no matter how fucking stupid it is, and you just want me to, you want to be heard, and I can give that to you, awesome. I'm going to ask you though, following up, do you want my opinion or do you want someone to hear you? Most of the time, you
Yeah.
know, the rip. Who's going to appreciate the honesty, who needs the honesty, and who just needs to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'd say even give it a try. Let me know what happens. But
Yeah.
open communication and the expression of this is a judgment free zone. I will be honest with you, but that's my honesty showing because I care will make a world of difference.
Oh yeah.
Big time. Big time. Communication, folks. I think that one probably is a good one to end off of. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
today. Devin, thank you for being here, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see you on some future installments.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
Anytime, my friend. Absolutely. All right, folks, that has been Flowers First, our dating talk podcast for the day over at Pev Productions. My name is Pedro Vega. You could follow me on all the socials at Pev Gamer. We'll be doing more of these episodes, but I want to hear from you. Tell me down in the comments. Was there something that we missed? Is there something that you want me to talk about in future installments? Do you want to be part of the show? Make sure you check out the show live over on twitch.tv/PevGamer. We got a whole bunch of content over there for you, gaming and podcasting. I love you all so much. Peace. We'll see you guys in the next video.